Clickbait. What do you think about when I say the word clickbait? Maybe you know what it means, or maybe you don't. But I guarantee you that you all have seen clickbait somewhere. Here, let me give you an example. Stop what you're doing right now and listen to me. This is the news you've been waiting to hear all day. You do not want to miss this. You, yes you are carrying around a dictator in your pocket. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's true. And if you click right here, you can find out more. You are carrying around a dictator in your pocket? Yeah, that's a classic example of what clickbait might look like. They're bold statements that we see that are trying to get us to click on an advertisement or to watch their latest YouTube video. But what I think of most when I think about clickbait is news headlines. You know, like when we get a drop-down notification on our phones telling us about the next breaking news story, and we just have to click it because we want to find out what's going on. And because the news is so regularly available on our phones, I think that's what makes our phones the dictators in our pockets. Because a lot of the time, these news articles can control what we believe, how we feel, and how we act. And it makes smartphones dangerous. I know, such a shocker, a teenager who actually agrees that smartphones are dangerous. But they are. However, I don't think that we should ban them. I think there's a solution. You see, during lockdown, my phone, it had such a large effect on me. Obviously, we weren't able to go out very much, so my phone was the only window I had to the outside world. I had to do everything through my phone. And because I was spending so much time on my phone every day, I realized how much of an impact it had on me. It was so overwhelming. I felt like a spectator just looking out on the world, not able to do anything. You know, all these news articles and news headlines that we were reading about the number of cases increasing, people dying, the lack of beds in ICU. It was horrible. I've never felt so alone, yet simultaneously aware of everything that was going on in the world at the same time. And that's when I realized, you know, I don't want to be a spectator. I have to take some control back. So I was like, Tara, what would you do if you were actually able to go outside? I'd talk to my friends, of course. So I decided that I would get in contact with my friends through my phone and ask them how they felt. And they felt the exact same way. And I'd say a lot of you probably felt the same way too. And so we started discussing the things that we were seeing online. We started checking each other, making sure each other were okay, making sure that we weren't reading anything that was fake. And it was really helpful. Because I wasn't so caught up in the news headlines, because I wasn't just mindlessly scrolling through everything, I actually had time to think about what I was reading and to choose things that I wanted to read about. I got really inspired by the past climate protests that were organised and the Black Lives Matter protests, and I started educating myself. These people were able to organise these amazing movements through their phones. They were miles apart, but they could still do amazing things, all because of technology. Smartphone addiction is a real problem in this day and age. I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm definitely a bit addicted to my phone, as most young people are. But since lockdown and since realizing that I could actually do good things, I could actually educate myself, I've realized that we can't possibly just lock our phones away. We're not going to wake up one day with no phones. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. So instead, we have to have a better understanding of the way our phones work and how they impact us. Just by discussing things with my friends, by being able to fact-check my sources, by understanding that I need to manage my screen time, I was able to make a change to the way I feel and the way I think, and so can everybody else. The responsibility is on us to do this. I had to stop and think, and learn how to think about what I was consuming, and so should you. Yeah, we do have dictators in our pockets, but we don't have to be the spectator. No matter how cheesy it sounds, but we can be the change that we want to see in the world. So I ask you, in future, take a little time to stop and think before you scroll. Because the next time you pick up your phone, you never know what you could achieve. Thank you.